For many years, through the 2010s, mid-range smartphones lagged in performance and features. Fast forward to 2024, and they have dramatically improved their prospects, borrowing many of the best traits from their premium siblings to make them a lot more desirable. In this video, we will recommend the 5 best mid-range smartphones that you can buy in 2024. For more information on the products, we've included links in the description box down below. Let's get started! OnePlus Nord CE3 Lite. These phones may not be the most attention-grabbing device, but it will easily get a grip on key areas. The CE3 Lite screen measures 6.72 inches and has an IPS LCD resolution of 2400 by 1080 pixels. Further, there's support for a 120 Hz refresh rate, meaning the image is updated 120 times per second, hence making any action appear smooth on screen. OnePlus promises an average brightness of 550 nits and a peak brightness as high as 680 nits. In addition, there will be a Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 chipset that will allow you to swipe and switch between apps at breakneck speed. Price starting from $290. The phone comes with 8 GB of RAM as standard and supports 128 GB of internal storage. There's also the provision for a microSD card slot that lets you increase the capacity by 1 TB. One of the most impressive things about these phones is the cameras. It comes with a triple rear camera setup with a highlight being a 108 megapixel main lens. That is combined with a 2 megapixel macro lens and another 2 megapixel depth camera. It also has a 16 megapixel selfie snapper, and thanks to the camera software on this phone, it can do a little more than most. Besides, there's a chunky 5,000 mAh battery here, and it means the device will breeze through a day without needing to be charged. The charging speed is 67 watts, and OnePlus claims that the phone will get from empty to 80% in half an hour. All in all, the Nord CE3 Lite is an able device in what it does. It packs a decent set of hardware and clutter-free software that get the basics right to make for a seamless user experience. Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus. The Note 13 Pro Plus seems like the perfect upper mid-range smartphone. It has all we could want from such a phone, and the specifications sheet really outdoes the expectations of most users. The phone feels very premium, and no corners have been cut in terms of build quality. In terms of display, the Note 13 Pro Plus is stuffed with a brilliant 6.67-inch AMOLED display that looks just like a flagship and acts just like one too. While the resolution of 2712 by 1220 is not quite as sharp as 1440 pixel on other phones, it is still great, clear, and with very good detail. The 120 Hz refresh rate adds a touch of that luxury feel since scrolling and transitions become fluid and responsive. There is also Corning Gorilla Glass Victus to protect said display. The phone, priced at $375, will be powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7200 Ultra, which supports 12 GB of RAM and up to 512 GB of storage. On the back of the Note 13 Pro plus 5G, there are 3 cameras, placed in order: a 200 megapixel main shooter, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide shooter, and a 2 megapixel macro. Of course, there is a 16 megapixel selfie camera. Xiaomi has fitted the Note 13 Pro Plus with a standard 5,000 mAh battery. Despite that, fast charging at 120 watt is possible. All in all, the Note 13 Pro Plus wears superlative hardware that wouldn't look out of place on a phone costing twice its price. But a lack of great cameras and a patchy software experience will prove to be deal breakers for many people. Google Pixel 7a. Google renewed and updated their mid-range series upon arrival with the Pixel 7a, not only in CPU selection, but also with brand new features. The screen size of the Pixel 7a is the same as in the Pixel 6a 6.1 inches. It also has a full HD OLED display with a resolution of 1080 by 24, an aspect ratio of 20 by 9, and Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for durability. The new Pixel 7a has been upgraded to a much smoother 90 Hz adaptive refresh rate, which the company refers to as smooth display. Actually, the bezels on the Pixel 7a are not thin, but are not really obtrusive either. The Tensor G2 chip for Google gives better speed, efficiency, and security. With price at $329, it has 8 GB of RAM, while on the storage front, the lone option is 128 GB, which can store all your contacts, music, images, and other files. With Google's AI prowess combined with the Tensor G2 chip driving things, there was never any doubt that this would be satisfying photos from the Pixel 7a. The main camera sensor gets a major uplift, lifting it from 12 megapixel to a significant 64 megapixel. The battery of the Pixel 7a weighs in at 4,385 mAh and is rated for as many as 24 hours of use per single charge. All in all, the Pixel 7a is more than a decent phone with very decent upgrades over the Pixel 6a. Samsung Galaxy A54 5G. The latest A54 5G is the most recent in the line of mid-range phones equipped with state-of-the-art specifications and features. The Samsung phone features a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate. Resolution comes in at 2340 by 1080 pixels, working out to a density of 403 pixels per inch. The screen was fairly okay. It's bright enough to read in the sunlight. A layer of Gorilla Glass 5 protects the display further. The A54 5G is powered by Exynos 1380 CPU, features 128 GB of internal storage, and micro SD cards up to 1 TB are supported. It also boasts a generous 6 GB of RAM, preventing the programs to operate too aggressively in the background. All that for $380. As one would expect by the naming convention, 5G capability carries over from the previous generation here, while Wi-Fi 6 compatibility is added here. The phone also sports a triple rear camera arrangement that features a 50-megapixel primary sensor, followed by an 8-megapixel ultra-wide-angle shooter and a 5-megapixel macro camera. The front camera is 32 megapixels. The A54 5G houses a 5,000 mAh battery. It is nothing out of the ordinary for its predecessor. It's also bigger than lots of its rivals, too, which is great news. All in all, the Samsung Galaxy A54 5G is an affordable phone with no compromises on quality and features, which makes it very promising for flagship alternates. Nothing Phone 2a. The Nothing Phone 2a is a combination of fashion and functionality, targeted at the middle class. The main highlight of the phone is its minimalist design, with a semi-transparent back and the signature glyph lighting now shrunk to the top. The plastic body of the phone adds more durability while making it lighter compared to the previous versions. The glyph system still does its job of signaling notifications and integrating with several apps, such as Uber for useful shortcuts. The screen is a 6.7-inch AMOLED display with brilliant colors and sharp contrast, supported by a 91.65% screen-to-body ratio. It doesn't boast the latest LTPO technology, but it does have an adaptive refresh rate of 30 up to 120 Hz for smooth visuals and very decent power usage. It features an Gorilla Glass 5 protection, shifted front camera, and fingerprint sensor for convenience at a go. The Phone 2a comes powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 7200 Pro and is good to go for general usage and even gaming. For $387, you have 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. There is also the 50-megapixel dual camera setup that provides decent but not astonishing shots. The battery has a capacity of 5,000 mAh and can be charged at 45 watt. It still doesn't offer wireless charging, expandable storage, and the 5G is fairly weak, both factors that diminish its allure in certain areas, such as in the US. The fingerprint issue is also an evident problem with the plastic finish. Still, for those who would trade a premium feature or two for great design and truly practical performance, the Phone 2a is one intriguing device.